why there is this our product Sovelia CAD Add-In? Well, here you can see the end result that we are aiming quite often. So we need a product structure in Sovelia where we have, as I said, a structure for our product or our project. And then we have all the needed information that the designer has created, like drawings and DXF files for laser cutting and things like that. So those are the things that we need here in our PLM system to create the product. And this is something that has been designed in CAD. So this structure, what you are seeing here, so this is a pedal system for a racing car. You can see that there is a frame and throttle pedal and brake pedal and so on. So this structure is originated from CAD system. I'm talking about Autodesk Inventor at the moment. And this structure is or was established to Sovelia through the CAD Add-In. So here I have the corresponding 3D model. And the main idea is that there is no lots of things that the designer needs to do to create new items and new drawings and the XF files and so on to Sovelia, because the CAD Add-In is the tool that does really much automatically for the designer. So the designer can focus on his real stuff, designing the things, and the data is flowing automatically to PLM system through the CAD Add-In. So if you want to have this kind of structure, what you have designed with Inventor to Sovelia, so what you need to do. So let's take a look at the basics. So what we are adding to the CAD system, in this case Autodesk Inventor, the very same kind of integration is available to AutoCAD. So we have same kind of Sovelia tab in AutoCAD, and this tab includes this kind of tools that we are adding here to make the CAD system work with Sovelia. So we have one really important portion here, which is the property management. I will go there really shortly. And then we have basically the Sovelia operations. So these are the two main things that are, driving the automatic things between the CAD system and Sovelia. And then we have some nice bonus tools for the designer to help them in their daily job. But the basics are here. So I have a part here. So this is something that the designer does every day. And as you can see, I can show you the eye properties. The part is not saved yet. So this is a newly created part. And now when the designer is clicking save for the first time, the initial save for the part or assembly or drawing, the property card, which is one part of the property handling of Sovelia CAD Add-In, pops up. So this is an optional feature. So you can control that does the property card pop up or not. And you can open the property card whenever you want. So if you know that, yes, this is going to be an item in Sovelia, you can use the property card immediately. Or if you are doing, some kind of prototyping or sketching, you are inviting something new and you don't know if this is going to be something that is going to get to a production phase, you can just do prototyping. And then when you feel that, well, this is quite good, maybe we should create this kind of part or assembly and so on, then you can use the property card to create the item to Sovelia. So now I'm going to create an item to Sovelia. So I'm going to click that create an item. I'm going to select the classification. This is going to be own design item and it's going to be a plate. Name is coming from the dictionary. This is going to be shield. and it's there. And you can see that at the moment I have Finnish and English active in my dictionary. Description, by the way, from here you can see that which field is mandatory. So mandatory fields are displayed as bold. So you are not able to save your part before all the necessary information is filled. In this configuration, which is, by the way, the basic configuration, which I forgot to say to you, that everything you are going to see today are included in the basic configuration. So there is no any additional configuration made to this system. So basically, if we install the CAD add-in for you today, this is exactly how it works. So description, you can type something or you can use automatic description. And this automatic description is quite a powerful tool because it uses our measuring technology. So basically what it means is that, so if I'm selecting here that please measure this part as a plate, and now if I hit apply, it will measure the part. So you know, it is not reading any eye properties and so on. We are actually doing physical measuring for the part. So it doesn't need to be in the model space in X, Y, or Z direction. It can be in any position and in any angle, and we are still able to measure it. And of course, what this does, this reduces errors. How often you have took a part and you have copied it to use it somewhere else, but you need to change the bit. Then you have changed the geometry, added 20 millimeters there and removed 50 millimeters from there. And then you have forgot to update the description if it's manual. So then when you are creating a drawing out from that part, your description says different than what your drawing view says. And of course, there is a huge possibility to make a really expensive error then. So that's why this is something really exciting in the CAD add-in. So we have lots of different ways to measure the part, that how it is going to be measured. Of course, the property card is fully configurable, so it will be configured to your needs. We can use different kind of groups, so we can keep the you know, the look and feel really clear, and it's really heavily modifiable. So you can basically do any kind of property card you want, and of course. The property card can be different. It's depending on the Inventor file type. So it can be different between the part file, between assembly files, or drawing files. And the look and feel, or the fields that are mandatory and which are visible here can be, you know, the classification related. So basically, the information fields or the property card fields of a part you are going to buy are much different when comparing to a property card of a part that you are going to manufacture by yourself. What we are also going to, or what we are also able to do with the property card is to create the raw material relation. So already in the CAD system, the designer can tell that this plate is going to be made from 2 millimeter plate that we have in our warehouse, and this part is going to consume that plate 0.2 square meters and so. And also we are able to search for a surface treatment object. So we are able to tell for this to this item. Now it is already itemized, by the way, it has an ID there. So we are able to tell that this is going to be, for example, sandblasted before, and then we are going to make some primer painting and then the actual painting for the part. But basically, now it took 5 minutes from me to tell you what to do with the property card. But basically, how to create an item to Sovelia is to hit create item, select the item class for the part, then name from dictionary. That's something you need to select. That's something you are not able to write anything to. Automatic description or manual description. This is for demo. Then we have, of course, different kind of drop-down menus and so on, which you can use and write just the typical text fields and radio buttons. So you are able to have this as a spare part. And then when I hit OK, there is already an item created to Sovelia. You are able to use name from Sovelia, or you are able to use file names by your own. This is a shield plate. So what is important here is that we are not file name related. So the file name doesn't need to be the same than the item name. So if you have descriptive names for parts, you can use those as you wish. Here we have our property grid, which I'm going to demonstrate you a bit later. But for example, from here, I can see that this item is already created in Sovelia by using the property card. It is here. Now, how to proceed? Well, now the designer, for example, maybe he's doing some corner chamfers, for example, here and here and here and here and OK. And this is a really simple plate. So now the designer decides that he's ready. So what he is going to do? He's going to use the Sovelia operations. He's going to use promote. The first state when the item was created is created. And maybe when we are working in a larger project where we have multiple parts we need to design and so on, we promote to this, it's not saved, sorry. We are going to inform the people in our company that, okay, we are now designing this, this item. Of course, in the property card, we have option that where we are able to, connect to an existing item in Sovelia. For example, the guy or girl who has purchased a cylinder, he has filled or the buyer has filled the information to Sovelia, and the item is existing in Sovelia. Then the designer goes to a cylinder manufacturer site and downloads the 3D model from the site, and then the designer is able to connect to an existing item in Sovelia, and very often on that phase they are changing the status of the item that the purchaser was telling that this is now created, and when the designer added the 3D model for the item, the status is changed to InDesign. And when the designer is ready, the designer is going to tell that, well, I'm going to move my item, my part, to a design ready state. And what has happened now? All the things that we are doing, sending some secondary files and so on, are done locally. So if we have customers here who are using our CAD integration called iVault, so there we are doing this promoting and releasing and things like this in Vault environment. So the designer needs to go to Vault, and from Vault doing the releasing and things like that, changing the statuses. And then what happens? And then what happens is that the Vault job processor is doing the secondary files and so on. But what we are doing with the new CAD add-in is that we are doing everything locally. But basically, once again, it took few minutes for me to explain and only few seconds to click the button. So what I did, I have used the property card to fill the information, and then I have used promote tool to promote the status of the item. And now, as I am a designer, I'm not able to promote no more, because the design ready is the highest state by default. The designer is able to promote his or her design. But in Sovelia, if I go in Sovelia, I can see that, well, now we have a thumbnail here. You can see there's a thumbnail. We have two secondary files. And what we have here, we have DWF. And that's the free view. You are able to, this is 3D viewable. You are able to view with Autodesk Design Review. You are able to do measurements and so on. So that is one file we are sending, one secondary file we are sending to Sovelia by default. It took some time to open. I don't know why. It's here. So there is a 3D viewable file. And also, because this was a sheet metal part and it had a flat pattern, we automatically send a DXF file from this file to Sovelia. So what this means is that we don't need to create any separate 2D drawings from flat patterns anymore, because the flat pattern, DXF of the flat pattern is automatically sent from the 3D model. Well, how about the drawing? And by the way, what else happened? If you are using Vault, I think, and I hope you noticed that I haven't used Vault. I haven't clicked check in or check out or change state, not even once. But what has happened automatically in the background, the field is, the shield plate is vaulted and it is released. So our CAD integration, it is possible to drive Vault with our CAD integration. So when I did the first promote, I promoted that this file is now changed from created to InDesign. It was checked into Vault automatically. And then when I told that the status is design ready, so I promoted my model to design ready, the CAD add-in released the file in the Vault. So this means that now we are kind of, protecting the file from changes here on the CAD side. So now it is really hard for the designer to change the file outside the system. And of course, this is optional, so we don't need to use Vault if you don't want to. That's something we are recommending. We are recommending that you are using Vault, but you don't have to. And if you are not using commercial Vault, if you are using a basic Vault, then of course we are not able to release the files or lock them, because this is not available in basic Vault. But we are able to, check in and check out the files to Vault with the CAD add-in if you are using Vault Basic. Quite often we need a drawing out from this, so I'm going to create a new drawing. And once again, it's all the same on what phase you are creating the drawing. Are you doing it simultaneously when you are doing the model, or however you want to do? You all know how CAD systems work, so I am not going to demonstrate you CAD. I just created drawing, I just need to put 1 or 2 dimensions there, so it even looks like a bit as a drawing. And once again, when I'm saving, the property card pops up, and I'm going to create a new drawing to Sovelia. And this is sealed, and I'm going to hit OK. And now I have new drawing in Sovelia, and I can tell you that this is sealed plate, or I can use the automatic naming from Sovelia. And now, same story for the drawing. The drawing is on created state. And by the way, you can see the model here in the property grid, which we are going to have a closer look a little bit later. But now what I'm able to do, for example, the promoting for multiple files at the same run here from the property grid. And I'm going to tell that, okay, that was in design, and then I'm going to promote it to design ready, change state. And once again, lots of things happens in the background automatically. So what has happened? Let's take a look at the drawing in Sovelia. The drawing is here. You can see that it's here. At the moment, I have only PDF export on. So the PDF is the only secondary file I am sending to Sovelia automatically. But you can use AutoCAD DWG, you can use Inventor DWG, you can use DXF. So, but at the moment I have only PDF publishing on, and you can see that the PDF is automatically published to Sovelia. So the designer doesn't need to do any PDF files or AutoCAD DWG files out from these drawings, because we are able to create those automatically and send those to Sovelia. So that's the basic workflow for the single parts and when you have your single drawing. But then of course we have assemblies and so on. So if I'm going to take a look at this assembly I have here, and I have my property grid open here, and then one of really important things in Sovelia CAD Add-In is that we are respecting bill of materials, the structured bill of materials from Inventor. So the structure we have here is the structure we are going to send to Sovelia, even with the virtual part. So we have also support for virtual part. So what I have done here is that I have created virtual part, and our property card also works with virtual parts. So if you want to add glue, oil, or some liquid, or something that it's not worth to create a 3D model out from, you can use virtual parts and so on. And now, one of the new features in Sovelia CAD Add-In is that when you hit send BOM, the preview that what is sent to Sovelia is much better than it used to be in the past. So here you can see the quantities that what it is going to go to Sovelia from this Inventor structure. And as I said, we are really respecting the Inventor structure. So let me give you some proof of that. So here I have an item called cradle. And now if I hit send BOM, take a look at this. It says that we are going to send Sovelia totally 2,590 millimeters of this steel structure I have here, 50 × 50 rectangular tube, because we are also respecting the units of Inventor. And as you know, if you are importing a structural shape from from Content Center to Inventor, the default unit is millimeters. So now we are reporting millimeters to Sovelia. And now we can see that we have only one row because it's there. And let's go and have a look at it. Now we have only one row in Sovelia. You can see that 2,590 millimeters. But if I go back to Inventor and I'm manipulating Inventor BOM, so I'm going to take BOM here and I'm going to take off the part number merge. I'm going to hit OK. So now the parts are not merged, although they have the same part number. I'm going to hit done. I'm going to save. And now if I'm going to hit send BOM, you can see that what happens. The BOM is totally different. We are going to send all the rows from the BOM to Sovelia. And now we're going to hit send. And once again, if I go back to Sovelia and I'm going to hit upgrade, update, we can see that now it looks like this. So the total is 2,590 millimeters. And of course, when I'm saying that we are respecting the Inventor structured BOM, it means that if you have their phantom assemblies, or you have reference assemblies, or if you have purchased assemblies and so on, we are respecting those BOM structures and send information to Sovelia based on that. Well, then, if we want to change something which is really important is revising, and we have one really nice new feature in 21.5 CAD integration. So here's my shield plate, and now we need to revise it. Okay, first I'm going to go to Sovelia, and let's do it like it is usually. So I'm an administrator. I'm going to approve these to production. So now they are on production, and then some time goes by, and then we need to revise it. So you are able to start the revision process from the PLM system from Sovelia if you want, by clicking revise. And then when you are revising something in Sovelia and then you go back to CAD system, the CAD system notices that your revision is behind Sovelia revision, and you are able to, update your Sovelia revision to know your CAD revision to match the Sovelia revision by using the revise tool. But you are also able to start the revision process from here. And if I'm now going to upgrade now it takes a while, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to hit revise. And this is something that is really exciting at the moment, a new feature. So in the previous versions, you needed to revise your item and your drawing, your 3D model and your model of the 3D model. You needed to revise them separately, but now we are able to revise them simultaneously. So I'm going to tell that we are going to create a new revision where is a hole added, and then in our latest CAD Add-In version we have added some great new functionality to support different kind of vault configurations. And now, as I was telling you a bit earlier, is that the file was automatically released in Vault. So it is locked and it is on release state. So now our CAD add-in tells that we need to do some changes involved. Of course, we need to change the status of the file from release to work in process, and we need to check it out and so on. But now I'm going to tell that all added, and I'm going to tell revise. And what happens? You can see that the revision of the model was created. And if I'm going to take a look at the drawing was revised too. And of course, in the drawing, we have the new revision out from the model. So now I'm going to go, no, sorry, that was the totally wrong drawing. That's the drawing here. And you can see that we have new drawing revision number 2, which represents the item revision 2. And now the progress goes just like it went before. So I'm going to go for the model, and I'm going to just hit that create a hole over here. There. Now the hole is added. I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to go to a drawing, which is here. And of course, then I'm going to add the measurements that where is that hole located and so on. And then what I'm able to do, I'm able to do this for the part and for the drawing simultaneously. I'm going to promote those both. And then design ready. It's sending the secondary files to Sovelia, so it takes some time. And once again, they are in design ready, released in Vault. And if I'm going to take a look at drawing in Sovelia, the drawing is there. And of course, if I'm taking a look at the parent, now we have the 3D viewable file here. Then we have the DXF file for the laser cutting here. And of course, we have the drawing, the latest drawing with the revision 2 drawings here. So what I'm trying to tell here is that the CAD add-in is designed to work like that the designer doesn't need to leave from the CAD system, because the design system, Inventor in this case, is the tool that the designer is using. This is where the designer wants to stay. The designer maybe does not want to go to Vault and so on. The designer doesn't want to go Sovelia all the time. So that's why all the important features here are included in the CAD system. For example, if you need to copy something, and for example, I have my shield plate is here, and I need almost the same. So I am not able to revise because the change is so big. I need to create a new item out from this. One of the nice features we are introducing with the CAD add-in is the clone component. So I'm able to clone this shield plate, and this is also triggered if I click here, File and Save As. So the CAD add-in realizes that, okay, this is an item and it is existing in Sovelia. So when you are doing Inventor Save As, it says that, well, now you are copying the model. Would you like to copy the item in Sovelia too? And also there is this button that please clone the drawings too. So now I'm going to take a copy. I'm going to tell that this is white shield plate, and new ID for the drawing from Sovelia and so on. And now I'm going to hit OK. And what happens is that we have a cloned plate with new ID on created state, and we have cloned the drawing. We have copied those in Sovelia, in Inventor, and we have copied those in or cloned in Sovelia. And of course, all the relations are there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for my control flange, which is here. And I'm going to tell that this is, for example, 600 millimeters. I'm going to finish the sketch. And of course, the drawing is updated here. You can see that the description is not upgraded yet, but it is going to be updated automatically when doing promoting. Or we have different kind of tools like, update properties. So which you are, if you have an assembly and you have lots of changes, some kind of skeleton-based assembly, and you just like to, measure all again and so on, the description is automatically, descriptions are automatically calculated again. So this was something that really reduces errors. Also, these are, when you are using property card, the calculations are made automatically. So it updates all the measured information. And then, of course, you already know this. But now what you are going to do, you are going to promote this to design ready state. And then you have, there was a really, really easy way to copy it. There's some existing part or assembly. And if you are doing that on assembly context, it means that if I need to, for example, clone that one, I'm able to clone it. And I'm also able to clone the drawings if it has a drawing. It seems that it doesn't have a drawing. And then I'm going to replace all they have here, but actually the 25 millimeter, there is only one 25 millimeter wide here. And now what happens is that now it is going to clone that part. It's here. You can see that it's a new item, and it was also replaced here. You can see that it's there. So these are called productivity tools. So we are giving some really nice and handy tools for the designer to make his day better, because we know that many of designers are doing lots of copying, so they are searching for something existing and then they want to change it a little bit, and how to do that, to copy the model and copy the drawing simultaneously, that's not even possible in Inventor. So we are helping on that, and of course the fact that we are also doing the cloning in Sovelia for the item and for the drawing on the same run and keeping up all the relationships and so on. That's a huge advantage that really saves time and reduce errors. Some other things that are quite handy are, for example, open and place from Sovelia. This means place from Sovelia means that you are going to search something from Sovelia, like this, and then you are importing it to your assembly. So search from Sovelia and place from Vault could be the name for that button. So we were searching the item in Sovelia, and then we were importing the corresponding file from Vault or from your workspace if it is there, and the version is same with the Vault version. Then we are going to import that, and of course open from Sovelia. Once again, I'm going to search, for example, for a catalog item. I don't know, and if I want to open that, it's there. And something what I also want to tell here is that our CAD integration works full with Inventor standard parts. So take a look at this. I'm going to go, for example, here, and I'm going to place a part from Content Center, although my Content Center is not. The first demo effect. Where is my Content Center? What? I have no idea why it was changed from Vault to local. And now I'm going to select some Content Center part that I haven't used before. So for example, let's take that and put it here. And M622, okay. And there is an Inventor Content Center part. Take a look at the eye properties. It's saved to the Content Center file by default, and it has its part number, it has its description, and so on. And of course, you are not able to modify this. If I tell there that this is the part number is 9000 and I'm going to hit OK, it says that you are not able to modify Inventor library files. But with the property card, you are able to you are able to itemize also Inventor Content Center part. So I'm just going to tell that this is, for example, catalog item. This is a screw, and the description is M6 22 standard 84. You are able to have this as a spare part and so on. And then I'm just going to hit OK. And voila. It is. I'll just open it. It is itemized. And then, just like a basic Inventor part, you are going to do the promoting. And of course, how it works is that now when you are using the same part again, so if I'm going to create a new assembly here, and then I'm going to place from the Content Center, it was that, and it was M6 times 22, was it? No, it wasn't. M6 times 22. Yes, it is. It's there. So it's the itemized component. The property grid is really handy when working with large assemblies. For example, just the basics. So of course, it's fully customizable. So what fields you want to display here. you are able to display columns from Sovelia or columns from Inventor. So you are able to display Sovelia properties or Inventor properties. You are able to do some filtering. For example, I want to find all the female rods made by SKF size M8 in my assembly. So what I'm going to do, I'm able to use any of the columns as a filter. First, I'm going to filter with the name. I'm going to, I want to find female rods. They are here. And then I want to filter with the SKF M8. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to find them from the model. And there is only one of those here. So it is really fast to find. For example, you have a huge project with thousands of files, and you want to find from the model all the models that are created by you that are in design state or in created state. And within few seconds, you're able to filter out everything else out from your Inventor screen. So you can really see that which are the parts and assemblies I am working with at the moment, and I'm not ready with those yet. Multi-operations, I'm going to stop soon. But for example, this cradle I had here, all these parts were inserted to Sovelia in one run. So basically what you can do is that you select all the parts and you hit Sovelia and use our multi-edit functions. So with the multi-edit functions, you are able to add, for example, multiple parts to Sovelia in one run. And this is what has happened here. This is already released, so I am not able to change anything. But for example, if I want to change the standard, I'm going to write something here, and then I have options here that copy this value to all empty to all the empty rows or to all rows and so on. And if we are going to do some major change, we have run calculations here, which are, calculating all the measurements and so on. So if 25 parts, the size of 25 part is changed on one run because a change on a skeleton model, we are able to upgrade them all on the same run by using the grid and using the multi-edit functions. So our CAD add-in, what it does, it ties really tightly Inventor and Sovelia together on a way where the designer doesn't need to leave from the CAD system. He's doing his daily job. What the designer needs to do is use the property card or property grid to fill the properties. And then the designer needs to use the statuses to automatically drive Sovelia, to automatically drive the secondary file sending to Sovelia, PDFs, DWGs, DWFs, and so on. And then, if needed, using revising and other Sovelia operations.